Look at this headline from Time magazine. Joe Biden launches a comeback no one is asking for. Ouch. Former Speaker of the House Newt Gingrich joining me now. Do the Democrats want Joe Biden to come back, Newt?
Well, of course not, but I think every Republican should applaud every time Biden shows up because, you know, it reminds people Donald Trump is cleaning up a mess which Biden spent 4 years creating. And most of the problems we currently are trying to solve are Joe Biden problems. So I think the more often Biden can remind us that he is the guy who created the current mess, the better off it is for Republicans. And if I was a Democrat, I would cringe every time he showed up. And I would also wonder why my party didn't tell the truth about him for at least 2 or 3 years as he was cognitively declining.
We're looking, who is the leader? What's the leadership of the Democrat Party at the moment? It looks to us like it's AOC and Bernie Sanders.
According to polls, AOC comes in first at 10%, Kamala Harris is second at 9%, and Bernie is third at 8%. So you'll be talking about a quarter of the Democrats believe that their leader's on the left, and the rest don't think they have a leader right now.
But before we move on, can I just ask you about Chris Van Hollen's trip to El Salvador to bring back a gang member, wife abuser, et cetera, et cetera?
Sure.
Why is it? What on earth is he doing
I'd like to know, has Chris visited a single mother of someone killed by an illegal immigrant? Has he visited a single family who were raped or killed by an illegal immigrant? The Democrats have this very selective sense of compassion. As long as you're illegal and a criminal, they'll go thousands of miles for you. But if you're an American citizen who is raped or killed by an illegal, they'll hide from you and refuse to take you seriously.
I'm going to change the subject for a second here. President Trump is reportedly open to raising taxes on the wealthiest Americans to try and pay for his tax cuts. Newt, since when has the Republican Party been tax the rich party?
Well, in 1990, President George H.W. Bush's advisors convinced him to break his word. Remember, in his convention acceptance, he said, "Read my lips, no new taxes." He came out for a tax increase. A majority of the House Republicans voted to defeat his proposal, and he lost the next election. I personally believe that President Trump is a Reagan Republican, not a Bush Republican, and I think his advisors are totally profoundly wrong. There are 188 House members, Republicans, who've signed a no tax increase pledge. There are 44 Republican senators who've signed a no tax increase pledge. There will not be a tax increase in the reconciliation bill, but it could be retroactive all the way to January 1st, which happened both in 1918 and in 1926. That would give people money in their pocket now, would offset the confusion about the tariffs, and would really launch the economy in a dramatic way.
Well, how do we pay for, the idea is no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, no tax on Social Security benefits. The money's got to come from somewhere. Is the president hoping that
it ought to come from
tariff revenue? Is that what's going to pay for it?
Well, I mean, certainly tariff revenue should be part of the pay for. As Thomas Jefferson said in his second inaugural in 1805, we had no domestic tax enforcers when he was president because all of our money came from tariffs. So I think if you're going to raise tariffs, which are a tax, then what you ought to do is take all that revenue and apply it to lowering the income tax for Americans. And at that point, Americans will be much happier with the tariff policy. It'll do its job, which is create jobs in America and make us more competitive in the world market. At the same time, it will also help the average American by reducing their income tax obligation.
What's your general opinion of the new tariff policy?
Oh, well, look, I think in the long run it's going to be historic. He's doing something that needed to be done. The Davos World Order kind of program didn't work. Putting China in the World Trade Organization didn't work. And countries, including the European Union, rigged the game against America, both in tax policy and in various regulatory policies. So he's doing the right thing by shaking it all up. Now we have to see whether or not the Secretary of the Treasury can go around and negotiate good deals. If they can, we'll look back on this as a historic turning point in recentering the world economy on the United States and in rebuilding the American industrial base in a way that enables us to continue to lead the world for the next century.
Bring on those deals. Newt Gingrich, always a pleasure. Thanks very much for being with us, sir. I know we'll see you
talking
again
to you.
soon. Yes, sir.